Hi, I'm Sean Hessinger, and this is Small Biz in 15, the show where we bring you small business success in 15 minutes or less. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the show. Recently, Small Biz in 15 on location traveled to Austin, Texas for Zoho Day 2022 and talked with Praval Singh, VP of Marketing and Customer Experience at Zoho, about managing your social presence with Zoho Social.
So let's start with talking about Zoho Social and what it does.
Sure. Zoho Social is essentially a social media management platform which allows businesses of all sizes, as well as agencies today, to manage social media presence for various brands. It could be brands they own, which is their own brands. And in the case of agencies, it could be the brands that they manage social media for. The interesting part here is it lets you manage your accounts, social media accounts, across different social media networks. It could be a page, could be profile, depending on which channel you're on, and keeps everything together in one place, right? From a publishing and scheduling perspective, as well as from social media listening and monitoring perspective. And all that has a layer of collaboration to it. So what that means is you could be a team of 2 or could be a team of 20. You can bring your team on it. They can discuss ideas, they can collaborate, give feedback, all of that within the same platform instead of playing email ping pong all day. So that's in a nutshell what the platform does.
You mentioned scaling and a team of 2. And I think one of the most challenging things is the idea of establishing a social media presence when you're a very, very small business. What can automation do for the really small business owner, maybe even the solopreneur, in terms of allowing them to spread their social presence and really have a chance to compete?
More in the context of small businesses, like you said, they have a business to run, which includes a bunch of other functions beyond just social media and marketing. And how the platform helps is, let's say you have some tweets you want to set out on fixed days of the week, of the month, or whatever. There could be some posts that you want to recycle and repeat them at certain frequency. Let's say tweets leading to an event like this. You can schedule them 4 months in advance and they'll go out at a set schedule. Things like this is what automation really includes when it comes to social media publishing and scheduling. Zoho Social helps you do that, of course. More than that, when you have a couple of people on the team, let's say, you can see who scheduled what. You have a social media calendar to drop things around. Let's say something you schedule for Wednesday, you want it to go out on Friday. It's just a drag and drop. So A, being able to schedule, and B, being able to visualize your content pipeline or a calendar is what social helps you with as well.
I think that one thing that people talk about all the time when it comes to social presence, but it seems like is the least understood, is the idea in which you can use social media to listen to your customers, to your competitors. In other words, to listen, not just to tweet and post on Facebook. Can you talk a little bit about how businesses can use that listening component to really gain an advantage that goes beyond just endless tweets or endless Facebook posts about my product?
In fact, social media listening, depending on the keyword that you're wanting to listen to, could be like drinking through a fire hose, right? There's so much activity, so many things coming up, hard to keep track. What a good listening platform would do is enable you to use filters in your searches, define your searches more appropriately so that you're getting the right things on your timeline. And a platform like Zoho Social has something what we call monitor dashboard, and it has multiple columns. So let's say you're at Zoho Day, you want to see a bunch of things. You want to see tweets from people like you. You want to see tweets from customers. You have a list on Twitter for that matter, right? You can create a separate monitoring view for that. You want to see tweets our own marketing team is making, your brand team is making, right? So you can have a column for that. It's like a dashboard which has multiple columns. You've defined who's who, and then you listen to the tweets. That's one use case. On a regular day, let's say you have a column for your customers that you want to keep track on what they're saying. That's another way of listening. Then comes listening to keywords that are relevant for your industry. Let's say you are running a boutique travel agency, right? And you offer boutique travel plans for that matter. You're selling a 2-night, 3-day package or something like that. You're interested in an area of people looking for that, right? So you can put in the right set of keywords and see who's looking for something. Or you are a service that sells budget flight tickets. You can enter the keywords and look for tweets or social updates for those keywords. This is sort of narrowed down listening into what you really want to, bringing out signal from that noise is what, if I would say so. The last bit of what I can think of is you want to keep a tab on your competition, right? You know who they are. Now, you can't keep opening several tabs all day and switching between them to see who's saying what, right? You can put them in a single column in your monitor dashboard and see what tweets they're making or what updates they have. So these are different ways of social listening and monitoring that a monitor dashboard can help you with.
Is customer complaints, the idea of customer complaints about your business or a negative perception of your business, that was something people were talking about for the longest time when people were tweeting about, airlines breaking guitars and things like that. But is that still a thing? Is that still something that you can use social media for, to figure out what your customers really think about you that maybe they're not saying to your face?
Yeah, Sean, that's a good one. One part of is understanding the social sentiment around your brand. Is it net positive, negative, whatever? Because the way things have been the last 5, 7, 10 years, you and me prefer to go on social media and share about something or reach out to a brand if we've had an issue, right? Now, that issue could become a crisis depending on how that brand handles it, right? How that business handles it. A social listening platform, what it allows is it lets people find that opportunity to flip that moment of a situation that is unwanted or unpleasant into an aha moment, right? And there's so many examples and case studies around this. So the tool helps you identify any such opportunity where there is need to address that. But the limitation that we've seen is when your social media marketing or management platform is in a silo, it doesn't connect with your CRM, has no other intel into it, you may not have contextual idea about who this person is. So for example, if I'm the social media manager for a brand, I see a negative tweet, I click on it, I see someone's profile. Now, what all do I know about the person? Is that person a customer already? Okay. Or are there any open support tickets from that person in my help desk software? What are the kind of emails we have recently exchanged with him or her? How do you get that data? You get that data only when your social media management software integrates with your CRM and other things, right? That is when context comes into, and that makes me as a social media marketer a lot more empowered to turn that situation into an aha moment, right? And because when I have a lot of context about that customer, I would address that in a very different way, right? And that includes having access to their contact information. I can pick up the phone and call her, right? So that's the thing with social media tools that are in silo versus the ones that connect with your CRM. And that's where we see a lot of value, and that customers really, really like that bit of it.
I think that you're leading into another question which I have, which is when you're choosing one of these platforms, there's so many platforms out there. If I had a dime for everybody who's advertising one of these things, social listening, social managing, how do I know what to get started with? Especially if I have very little experience, I have a small business, and up until now, my marketing has been, I don't know, hanging flyers or something, or posting occasionally on Twitter. And now I'm going to undertake this, which might involve learning to use a software, paying a subscription on a software. How do I figure out I'm getting the right one?
I think how I look at it is this question is beyond just tools. Most tools do the job well, whether it's from us or from some other vendor. Tool, end of the day, is just a tool. How you use that, what you make of it, is what leads to the efficiency that a tool brings in. Having said that, when you are a really small business, you want to start something small. You want something which has a low barrier to entry. You're not ready to make an upfront investment of sorts, right? Because you don't know where this will go. You may not even have the kind of money that some of the tools might require to come on board. So look for something that has a free trial and a free plan maybe. In some case, to get started, the free plan might be good enough for you. right? And then you graduate into one of the paid plans, which is a tiered pricing model. The second thing is look for a platform or a tool that you know will be there to help you out. In the sense, the customer support, being able to bring you on board, how easy or difficult that is, right? The other bit is the integration, which I spoke about, right? Is it a social media tool that's in a silo, which is looking good, seems to be good, shows you everything that it has, but doesn't connect with your CRM? Because that's where the value gets added, right? So I would say be mindful of that. And last but not least, you're a startup, look for something that's affordable. Look for something that doesn't hurt you. A lot of times what happens is the tools seem to be inexpensive to begin with to come on board, but as you start adopting it, as you start bringing more people from your team on that, it starts to get expensive. Adding additional account, adding additional people, make sure you have sort of figured that out. It may be inexpensive today, but how will it be in a year when I grow my team from 1 to 5, right? These are, I think, some precursors to sort of choose one, and then, that's how you get started.
And now it's time for our small biz tip in 15 seconds or less. Remember that managing social media is about more than posting to Facebook and Twitter. It's about listening to what your customers have to say. Be sure you choose a tool that's up to the task. Thanks again to Praval Singh and Zoho Corporation, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. And please leave a comment and let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. For more small business news and tips, join us at smallbiztrends.com.